good with this mic? Yeah, check. We're good.
It's too many. It's too many. Okay. Well, American what? Makes sense, I guess. Sergio, so when we do this, when we do this now, it's going to be live. Thank you very much. That's right, no problem, no problem.
judges are ready. The fighters are ready. The boxing world is ready.
The fight starts now!
Let's go.
rivals, live on DAZN.
All right, we're back in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for something very, very special. You guys know what I'm talking about. The greatest fight card we've ever seen. I am standing on the pink carpet where the fighters are going to make their way onto the greatest stage we've ever seen as well. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Greatest fights, greatest stage, greatest fighters. Come on, you know what happens, right? You know what I'm going to do. Grand Arrivals starts right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we gather to witness an epic rivalry between two titans, where the stage transforms into a battlefield. Let the spectacle
that the result is fair.
I think Beterbiev was lucky.
Something was hitting him. His judges
Here we go, back in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, back at Boulevard City, back for something very, very special. This is the Last Crescendo. This is day one, the Grand Arrivals, and this is the greatest fight card we've ever seen. Welcome into the studio, Adi Oladipo alongside Barry Jones, Sergio Mora, and Darren Barker. About to call you the Latin snake there. Darren Barker. We are here for something very, very special. This is the greatest fight card we've ever seen. The setting is the greatest stage we've ever seen as well. Guys, this is it, isn't it? This is it. We've been waiting for a month, ever since this was announced. Well, okay, let's get here. We're here now, Darren. Look at that stage. This is spectacular.
It's incredible. It really is. I mean, when this was first announced, we just didn't know if it was true. You know, it was one of those pinch yourself moments. Is this actually going to happen? Every single time that we come here, it seems to elevate every single time. And this card that's been assembled is special. It's something that dreams are made of. This is Christmas, your birthday, everything rolled into one. It's fantastic. What a night of boxing we're going to have.
A lot of the Riyadh season cards, Sergio, have maybe kind of been fixed on sort of pleasing one sector. So whether it's the Europeans, whether it's the Americans, this seems to be a worldwide event because there's someone from every single region on the card.
Not only that, but think about it. I mean, they're all 50-50 fights and all over the world. Like you said, it's an international sport. We're getting champions, we're getting contenders, we're getting everything. I mean, you got to pick one underdog. There's no underdog in this card. This is one of the greatest cards, if not the greatest card ever assembled, guaranteed.
Barry, you're the historian amongst us, right? I mean, we've been saying greatest fighter card. We hear it a lot. No, it's true, Barry, you are. Is it that? I mean, are we just kind of caught in the moment? I mean, Don King put on some great cards in the 80s. Is it the greatest fight card ever?
There's been plenty of super fights, and there's been super cards, there really has, but you go 2 or 3 fights deep, and then it gets, you know, prospects and things like that. This goes all the way down to the bottom. It just steeps in quality. It's in my lifetime, it's the best card I've seen, stacked of quality. It's an overdose for boxing geeks. It is, and also more than that, it transfers to the casual fan as well, because you've got big heavyweights involved, big names, big American stars. It ticks every single box you want. There's boxers there, classical boxers, punchers, movers, slicksters. I mean, whatever I can just go on forever talking about stuff, but literally, it does everything for everyone.
Yeah, and I guess the cherry on top of this cake is the undisputed light heavyweight title fight again between 2 of the best light heavyweights of this generation, arguably 2 of the best light heavyweights of all time, and we're lucky that we get to run it back again straight away.
Yeah. And the beauty of this is the first fight was so good. It had a bit of everything. There was drama, there was big punching, there was beautiful fleet-footed movement. There was so much to enjoy about this fight, and there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to have round 13. So much on the line, and look, they just don't seem to like each other, do they?
No.
There's obviously respect there. I look at this and I feel they can both do better, which for me is so exciting.
Yeah, it was just, I remember saying on the night, what a beautiful fight to watch, because it was a non-stop action, but it was just technically superb. And people think Beterbiev is just a puncher. He's so clever with his footwork, his movement, added with the power and the brutality and the menace that he has, matched by Bivol's just elegance and grace.
And you know the beauty of it, Are, like all 3 of us agree that we felt that Bivol won, but the casual fan, the regular fan, everyone thinks that Beterbiev won because it was so split. Even though Bivol landed the better punches, the cleaner shots, he landed a 50% power punches, it was Beterbiev coming forward, pressuring, looking for the big shots. Everyone thinks a monster is just a monster coming forward, but Bivol was boxing, using the ring, blocking the punches with his gloves. I mean, it was just a beautiful boxing at its absolute best, a sweet science, and that's the reason we're here doing it again.
Yeah, and I guess what makes these guys so good and what made it so close is that when you look at the pound-for-pound rankings, and we're going to show you it now, they're both so highly ranked in the pound-for-pound rankings. Look at that, 4 and 5. I mean, you can make an argument. Jesse Bam Rodriguez could say, 1 second, I need to get involved in that conversation. So Canelo as well, but that's how close it is between the 2. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. 4 versus 5 for the undisputed light heavyweight title, Darren.
Incredible. You know, it's a special fight. It really is. I mean, so much on the line, and the contrast in styles, I think for us 4 here is what we love about this fight so much. You know, the bull versus the matador. You're talking about real legacy. Whoever wins this fight will be, well, certainly a big argument as one of the greatest light heavyweights of all time.
How much pressure, Sergio, on Bivol to win this? I mean, if you lose back-to-back fights against Artur Beterbiev, look, it doesn't end your career. Obviously, there's so many good challenges out there. Benavidez out there, Morrell's out there, but he's going to desperately want to go 1 apiece.
Depends how he loses. I mean, if he loses another close fight, then he could just say, hey, the judges weren't on my favor. The style's not there for me. So depends how he loses. Now it's going to be a one-sided fight, or if there's a knockout, then absolutely that first fight is going to come back and haunt him. But I don't see that happening. It's just so perfectly matched. Like Darren just said, it's a boxer versus a puncher, but you could tell that the boxer is going to want to be more of a puncher because he fell short the second time around. That's what makes it a more beautiful fight.
And I think what Sergio said there is a really good point. You know, you'll want to do a little bit more, and that might cause the knockouts, because he might try a little bit too, hold his feet a little bit too long, try and do a little bit too much. And with Beterbiev, you can't give him too many chances. Now, Bivol took a lot of shots quite well, I thought. He rode a few shots, he sucked a few up, you know, and that was quite impressive. But he felt them. You could see that after he took a shot, he had to go back and re-engage again, you know, reset. And so if he holds his feet too often, trying to be a bit busier, a bit more effective, that could cause his demise. So again, it's another beautiful tactical affair where you have to be aggressive and brave, but you can't make a mistake. And we talk about concentration in fights, it's key. And I said this in the first fight, to keep your concentration for 3 minutes is an impossible task. So you got to hope when you switch off, Beterbiev doesn't switch on.
Right, that's a 50-50 fight, no arguments about it. The co-main event could also be argued as a 50-50 fight. Maybe Dubois edges it just, but again, another good one. IBF heavyweight title on the line. Dubois right now is almost a raging bull that would fight anyone, give him a chance against anyone. Joseph Parker could have the right antidote, though, to kind of get rid of him.
Oh, what a fight. I mean, what a fight. For chief support, it's incredible. And these are two of the in-form heavyweights, out there. These are two fighters that their confidence has been elevated to levels that are unparalleled. It's incredible. The confidence that is coming from Dubois is almost unsettling. It's freakish, if I'm honest. Like, that win against AJ, even going back before that, the Miller and Hrgovic, has just taken him to another level. And Parker, with his team, he just feels that this is the time. It's mad to think that Parker is only 33 years old. It's incredible. He's been around forever, but what he has now is, lots of top-level experience. So it's a great fight.
Sergio, I'm very interested to get your take on Dubois, because in the UK, there was this narrative of him being a bit of a quitter. We saw it against Joe Joyce, he got labelled a quitter, and to some extent against Usyk as well. Did that reverberate over to the States about Daniel Dubois?
Oh, yeah, no, it definitely did, because there were power jabs. I mean, to get hit with a jab and knocked out by a jab, and you take a knee and you could get up. It's not like you were down, sprawled on the floor on the canvas. No, he could have gotten up. So yes, he had that reputation of a quitter, but whoa, what a comeback. I mean, from coming back from Usyk, because I still believe that was a knockdown. He went punch for punch with Usyk, then went undefeated Hrgovic. He beat Big Baby Miller, took his 0. I mean, it's incredible. Knocking out Anthony Joshua, now back to here. It's incredible what he did. So whoever, he shed that reputation of a quitter. He shed that.
He definitely did. That's the co-main event. Let's remind you of the fight card that's coming your way as well on Saturday. And it's an incredible card. Ziyad Almaayouf kicks things off against Jontas de Oliveira. Mohamed Alakel will take on Angel Gomez, an all-British affair in the light heavyweight division. Joshua Buatsi versus former 168-pound Ring Magazine champion Callum Smith. The big boys, Zhilei Zhang takes on Agit Kabayel. And then it starts to get really serious. Vergil Ortiz versus Israil Madrimov. Carlos Adames will take on Hamzah Sheeraz. Shakur Stevenson will take on young Floyd Schofield. Daniel Dubois, we've just been speaking about him, will take on Joseph Parker. And then it's the undisputed light heavyweight showdown again between Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol. Pound for pounder versus pound for pounder. All right, let's get the show on the road. Let's throw it downstairs to your MC, Mr. Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand arrivals for the Last Crescendo, a great night of World Championship Boxing to be held this Saturday from A&B Arena in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We would first like to thank the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and His Excellency Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, Gia Turkey Al-Sheikh. This great event is being brought to you by Riyadh Season and the General Entertainment Authority, Gia, with Frank Warren for Queensberry Promotions, Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, Bob Aram for Top Rank Incorporated, Gold Star Promotions, Oscar De La Hoya's, Golden Boy Promotions, Boxer, World of Boxing, Warriors Boxing, and Sella. Along with their great sponsors, Saudi Tourism Authority, Saudi National Bank, STC, Dr. Suleiman El Habib Medical Group, Saudia Airlines, New Muraba Development Company, Tawuniya Hunger Station, Lucid Motors, and Al Tanfidi. A big thanks to those great sponsors. It will be shown worldwide and in the UK on DAZN, and also in the UK on TNT Sports Box Office and Sky Sports Box Office. And now, boxing fans, let's get the grand arrivals started. Our first fighter competing Saturday in a scheduled 6-round welterweight contest. He is undefeated with 6 wins, 1 draw, 1 win, coming by way of knockout. He hails from right here, Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Here is Ziyad Almaayouf.
Ziyad Almaayouf making his way, remember, trained by Buddy McGirt. Darren, you spoke to Ziyad yesterday. What was his like? What was his mood like?
Yeah, do you know what? It seems like he's coping with this a lot better. He was extremely disappointed with his last performance against Juan Garcia. Felt, you know, he was struggling to deal with the pressure, and that translated into his performance. But speaking to him yesterday, he just seemed as if he's changed his outlook on everything. Yes, there is a huge responsibility in kind of flying the flag for Saudi Arabian boxing, but he's now seeing it as an honor. It's a real honor to be able to do so, and he said he's been working technically on a lot more on defense, moving the feet, moving the head. He said it's something that he's used to doing, but for some reason he doesn't do it on fight night. So I'm excited to see what he is calling the second coming of Almaayouf.
Well, Ziyad, welcome back to Saudi Arabia. A little bit chillier now than last time we saw you here. How's it feel to be back?
You know, a superhero returns, and when I'm in Saudi Arabia, I just feel like I'm a superhero. I can't wait to put my cape on and rise up to that occasion, rise up to the pressure again and again and again Saturday night.
You took a draw your last time out here in Saudi Arabia. What did you learn from that experience?
Not what I liked to happen, but exactly what I needed to happen. And we only find that out later on. You know, our biggest problem is when we try to find solutions for something that happened today, a month later. But I learned that to trust the process, I needed that draw. I needed what I'm gonna pick up from it. And then we fix the problems and we go from there. But you will see a calmer, more composed Zizo, one that will represent the kingdom, one that will represent not only a city or a state, but a whole side of the world, in the Arab world, humbly and gratefully. And you know, it's all thanks to the custodian of the 2 holy mosques, King Salman, and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, for their vision in Vision 2030 that has inspired me and so many other like me, the youth and the talents, and also not the support of His Excellency Turki al-Sheikh, but his adoption, his complete adoption of me and supporting me and backing me, giving me the opportunity to shine and represent the kingdom.
Appreciate it, Zizo. Good luck this week.
Thank you, Chris.
Guys.
Our next 2 fighters will compete this Saturday in a scheduled 6-round super featherweight contest. We will first welcome a native of Chinandega, Nicaragua. He is now fighting out of Bratislava, Slovakia, and he is a veteran of 53 professional bouts. Let's welcome Angel El Cohete Gomez.
You heard Thomas Schreiber there say he's a veteran of 53 fights. What he didn't say was he lost 42 of those. So he is a proper journeyman, but he doesn't often get stopped. He's a journeyman that knows how to go to the distance and knows what to do, knows how to survive. I like this matchup for Ziyad.
Yeah, I think so. You know, it's an interesting fight for him, where you know you have a chance to. All these fights when you're early in your career is to practice what you do in the gym, and put it to practice in a real life situation. And if he can do that, then you know, and if you can get rid of him, that's a nice little result for him. But it's a win, a guaranteed win if he performs, and you expect that from him.
One thing we do know is obviously we got the horrific news this week about Joe Gallagher, who trains young Ziyad Almaayouf. Look, stage 4 bowel cancer. He won't be here, will he? Paul Smith will be here to look after him. Sorry, Mohammed Alakel, apologies.
Yeah, Alakel. Yeah, it's yeah, it's a terrible thing with Joe. Of course, you know, like one of the best boxing trainers in the UK, if not the world. Let's be honest. He's been fantastic for British boxing, so we all wish him the best. So of course, and that goes without saying.
And now let's welcome undefeated with 2 victories. He hails from right here, Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Let's welcome mighty Mohammed Alakel.
Here comes Mohammed Alakel, as I mentioned, trained by Joe Gallagher, looked after as well by Paul Smith. Really like him. He looked good last time out, didn't he?
Oh, mate, what a massive improvement from him. He looked good his first fight, but a massive improvement from that fight to his last fight, where he was holding his feet, they were still kept the speed, he wasn't jumping around a lot. The patience he had, the quality of the work that he produced, he looked fantastic. And now he doesn't look like just like a fanciful boxer. He looks like a box puncher here. So I think, you know, he's found himself already in his career. And there's a lot of big talk about him, and I wasn't quite sure after the first fight. But after that second contest, I can see why they invested in him, because he looks like a real talent.
Didn't really talk much, did he, Darren, the first time we spoke to him? He seemed very nervous. Now you speak to him, seems quite confident. Seems to kind of just take things in his stride.
I'm with Barry. I mean, the rate of improvement from that first fight was frightening. The spite, the aggression, and the boxing ability was on point. Very impressive.
Mohammed, welcome back. What are you looking to show on Saturday night?
I've worked so hard for this, and I'm a very skillful performance, hopefully.
What kind of performance should we be looking for? How would you describe yourself as a fighter to people who haven't seen you yet?
I'm just going to outbox him and, you know, just outbox him.
Tremendous card that you're on here, deep from top to bottom. How does it feel to be part of a card like this?
Yeah, I'm thankful and grateful. Everyone that made this possible, especially His Excellency, and I'm very honored.
Appreciate it, Mohammed. Good luck.
Thank you.
Our next 2 fighters competing this Saturday in a scheduled 12-round contest, and it will be for the WBO Interim Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. We will first welcome the challenger from Liverpool, England. He has a professional record consisting of 30 wins, 2 defeats, 22 of those 30 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former Ring Magazine champion and former WBA super middleweight champion of the world, Callum Mundo Smith.
Here comes Mundo, here comes the start of what is an incredible card. I can't believe Callum Smith versus Joshua Buatsi. And no disrespect to Alakel, Ziyad Almaayouf, but this is the start of the real card. I can't believe Callum Smith is walking first. This is a former ring recognized #1 at 168 pounds. Sergio, he challenged Artur Beterbiev for his crown. This is a great showdown. This is to kick things off.
This man can fight, and if he gets his confidence back, and that means him throwing his hook, because he throws his straight punches really well, but I think he's more of a hooker against Buatsi. Buatsi's a straight arm puncher. He likes going for the knockout with that right hand, good body puncher. I think Callum, if he catches him in between the shots and believes in his confidence, believes in himself, or what made him one of the best super middleweights in the world, this is going to be a tricky fight, and I favor him.
You know what, Barry? I have to admit, after the Artur Beterbiev fight, we didn't hear anything from Callum Smith. I actually thought he was considering retirement. And all of a sudden, he appears on a matchroom card before the bell, which is quite strange for a guy of his stature. And now he's here.
He's still a world-class fighter. I think he's still got plenty left in the locker.
Well, Callum, you shook the rust off in that last fight, right back into a big one this Saturday. How are you feeling about this fight?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. It's a fight I like. It's a big opportunity for myself to put myself closer to where I want to be, and that's a 2-weight world champion.
Came up short against Artur Beterbiev last year, but what did you learn from an experience like that?
I think you just learn from all your fights, and I think losing kind of magnifies areas where you need to improve that a little bit more, and I come away from it assessed it looked at reasons why I came up short, and I feel I've improved in certain areas, and I'm a better fighter because of it.
Been a very respectful promotion so far between you and Josh Buatsi. But what is this fight going to look like on Saturday?
I think it'll be a good fight. I think stylistically we should gel pretty well. It's not personal. I've got a job to do. He's got something I want. He's got an interim world title that puts me closer to where I want to be. So say I'll go in there this weekend, do the job, and I believe I'll come out on top.
Do you like these domestic fights a little bit better, give it a little extra juice?
Yeah, they're good. It obviously gets the public's imagination that little bit more with it, both being from the same country, but regardless of who it is, it's not the opponent, it's what he's got and where I want to be. So yeah, it's a big opportunity for myself.
Appreciate it, Callum. Good luck.
Thank you.
And now let's welcome the defending champion from London, England, a 2016 Olympic bronze medalist, now undefeated as a professional with 19 wins, 13 of those 19 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the reigning and defending WBO interim light heavyweight champion of the world, Joshua Buatsi.
Become so adjusted physiologically. It's a scientific fact that these people have the best lung capacity of any people on the planet.
Darren, the more I think about this fight, the more you kind of watch their last few fights, the more I get excited about this fight. It's strange, it's a domestic dust-up that we didn't really ask for. We've been asking for Buatsi versus Zhang, but all of a sudden, this could be better. This could be a fantastic scrap.
This is brilliant matchmaking. It's fantastic, it really is. And do you know what's exciting about Joshua Buatsi is I don't think we've seen the best of him yet. I think there's levels still to come from this man. He came through his last fight, which you'd have to say was an acid test against a bitter rival. They didn't like each other, him and Willie Hutchinson, but he looked good in that performance. But I still, as I say, think there's more to come from Buatsi, and that is exciting. Fantastic fight, fantastic matchmaking.
Barry, more to come, or do we just keep saying that about Buatsi? I feel like we've been saying that in the last 5 fights.
Yeah, we have, but I do think there's more in him. There's more energy in his work, and with that, I think he'll be a much better fighter for it.
Well, Josh, you've been looking for a big fight for a long time. This feels like a pretty big one. How are you feeling going into Saturday?
Feeling good, man. Happy to be fighting in Saudi Arabia, and a lot's on the line, so I'm looking forward to it.
You've been coming up the ranks with Callum over the years. Did it ever occur to you over that time that, hey, this might be a guy that I'll fight someday?
Only when the contract was signed, yeah.
What do you think this fight's going to look like?
One that I win. However it looks, I'll come on top.
I was asking Callum, you know, you guys have been very respectful of each other over the course of the last couple of months, but what is the fight going to look like in the ring? How good stylistically do you think this fight is?
Yeah, it's a style that should gel. Whatever style I have to provide to win, that's what I'm going to do.
You think this puts you one step closer to that full world title?
It definitely should, 100%.
Good luck, Josh.
Thank you.
Buatsi and Smith, very similar to the guys in the main event, Beterbiev and Bivol. They don't talk too much, but they fight. They give you fights, Barry, right? They're not going to trash talk. It's not them. It's never been them. But you know, come Saturday night, they're going to throw hands.
Yeah, they will. You know, certainly Callum Smith, you know, because as Sergio was alluding to, you know, he's a long guy who shoots throw straight, but he likes to throw the uppercut, he likes to throw the hook, he likes to fight close range. I think that was all. That's a praise and also a criticism at times. He doesn't lose his attributes. And I think for Buatsi, he's done nothing wrong. But like as Dad has been saying as well, there's always something more. You think there's more energy, like he almost needs a rocket up his backside just to get a bit more out of him. And I think this is the fight he's going to need to do that, because it shows how technically good he is. You know, and he can be spiteful at times, but I still think there's more energy to come from him. And I think Callum Smith will force that, or he won't get the result.
Here he was against Willie Hutchinson, and look, this fight got close down the stretch. There felt like there were times, Darren, where Buatsi was going away with it, and then Willie would find something. But Buatsi ultimately maybe just too good, too strong for Willie on the day.
Yeah, but where I say there's more level, but fantastic body punch in there. I just want to see him sustain those kind of attacks. If he can do that, then he becomes a very hard man to beat. And why I feel a little frustrated sometimes is because when he does fight like that and he lets flurries of shots go, he's one of the most exciting fighters out there. He really is. He's a big puncher. He takes a great shot. Very exciting.
Has he maybe missed the opportunity? And what I mean by that is, I think he was in line for the winner. All of a sudden, there's this monster Mexican-American called David Benavidez, who seems to have jumped the queue a little bit. Is that the kind of narrative in America, that Benavidez has jumped the queue?
It is, because Benavidez is knocking people out, and that's what makes him a monster. Buatsi has the power. He has everything going for him. He has the Olympic pedigree. The thing about Buatsi is he needs to check his technique. Whenever he starts getting over-aggressive with his power, his chin is up in the air. That's when he gets caught. That's when he gets in trouble, like we saw with Hitchinson. So if he minds his defense, if he knows how to follow a strategy and fight behind discipline and a long jab, use that reach and set up that power, that's what's going to set up the powers. I mean, that's what's going to set up the knockouts. So Buatsi has it all. He just needs to put it together.
One of the biggest question marks going into this fight, Barry, is where is Callum Smith, right? As he was walking on stage, you said, no, still a world-class fighter. Why do you think that is the case?
I just think there's a bit left in him. Again, I'm not quite sure. I think this fight will certainly tell us. Yeah. Because how much of the Beterbiev fight take out of him, of course. But I think there's a bit left in him. I think going up him, because he struggled to make super middleweight for so long.
Still looks massive for light heavyweight.
He does, but I think that half a stone gives you a whole new lease of life. And so I think there might be a few fights left into him. I am worried that if Buatsi can find that energy that we're talking about, that he might find it quite hard, and you're going to have to test that. But give him space and give him time to do his work. He's shown how good he is technically, and he's also shown at light heavyweight, his power is better than it was at super middleweight.
He loves that left hook, doesn't he? Up top or to the body.
Yeah, he doubles it up. He's got a fantastic check, counter left hook. He really is. This was a tune-up fight. This was getting the ring rust off, getting back under the bright lights, boxed on before the bell, and was happy to do so. What I love about Callum Smith and what I'm hearing from Callum Smith is the ambition is still there. It's as strong as it's ever been. He's got a new goal now, and that goal is to be a two-weight world champion.
Interesting. In terms of the split, 50-50, 60-40, what we're doing, is Buatsi favourite just? Where are we?
I would go 55.
55-45. Yourself, Sergio, Buatsi just a favourite?
Well, listen, if Smith is an underdog, he's a live underdog, and I'll bet on him, because I think Smith has another run at something great.
Yeah, yourself, Az?
Yeah, I agree with Sergio, but I think you have to make Buatsi the favourite because he's the fresher of the two.
Okay, all right, let's get the show back on the road. We're getting to the heavyweights now, so let's throw it downstairs to Thomas Schreiber.
Our next two fighters competing this Saturday in a scheduled 12-round contest. It will be for the vacant WBC Interim Heavyweight Championship of the World. We will first welcome, coming to us from Bochum, Germany. He brings an undefeated record with 25 wins, 17 of those 25 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the undefeated former two-time EBU European champion and the #1 ranked contender by the WBC. Here is Agit Kabayel.
I think of all the guys in the top 7 in the heavyweight division, I think Agit Kabayel is probably the most underrated. Like every time he wins one, there's an asterisk. Last time out, Frank Sanchez might have been injured. Arslanbek Makhmudov was never that good. He's beaten everyone that's put in front of him, yet he's still the outsider looking in.
Yeah, he is. And it's funny, really, because he does nothing fantastic, but everything good. And he has a really good engine on him as well. So I think that's what Makhmudov certainly struggled with. And he's tough and he takes a good shot. So he ticks a lot of boxes for a heavyweight. But he doesn't look like he has that crazy one-punch Dubois power. And I think that's why people are not thinking he's a real sexy fighter to get on board with. But he's one of the fighters who's benefited the most from this Riyadh season. I think, with the 2 really good wins, and this win, if he can get a win on Saturday, that elevates his career beyond even his wildest dreams.
Is that what it is? Is that he's good at everything but not excellent at anything? Is that Agit Kabayel?
I think that's fair. And do you know what? I have him a favourite going into this fight.
You have him a favourite?
I do.
Ooh.
Well, Agit, we have not seen you back here since you beat Frank Sanchez last May. How does it feel to be back in Riyadh and back in the ring?
Yeah, I'm happy that I'm here, I'm ready for the next challenge. Let's go.
Your next challenge is a pretty big one. Zhilei Zhang, a big man, a southpaw, a big punch. What do you have to do to beat him?
Yeah, we'll see on Saturday, you know. We have a good game plan for him. On Saturday, we'll see. And, yeah, let's go.
You've been the underdog or close to the underdog in your last couple of fights, probably the underdog again coming to this one. Do you like being the underdog?
Yes, of course, I like it. We see on Saturday, the underdog shocks the world again.
Interim title on the line for this fight, but does that mean something to you?
It's a small title, you know, small world title, but after the small white title, maybe come the big world title.
Good luck, Agit.
Thank you.
And now let's welcome, fighting out of Bloomfield, New Jersey, USA, by way of Shenzhou, China, a 2008 Olympic silver medalist, now has a professional record consisting of 27 wins, 2 defeats, 1 draw, 22 of those 27 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former WBO interim world champion and the #2 ranked contender by the WBC. Here is Zhilei Big Bang Zhang.
I'm you.
Bang, got to be a stupid man. Bang, better know I'm a money man. Bang, can't chat to me man. Bang, I'm on a real big man and talk bang.
You know what? I went back and watched Zhilei Zhang versus Filip Hrgović the other day, and the reason I say that is because I thought Zhilei Zhang might have been unlucky not to get that win, Sergio. So you look at the run that he's been on. So Hrgović, a couple of wins against Joe Joyce, who was unbeaten at the time, put Joseph Parker down a couple of times, stopped Deontay Wilder. This is a very dangerous 6'6", 20-stone heavyweight.
6'6" southpaw. The guy has a mean right hook. I'm telling you, that this is the thing about Zhang. Anytime you have a left-handed fighter that has a big left hand and has that right hook, he just knows how to set up fighters for punches they can't see coming. Zhang is a special fighter, even at 41, because heavyweights, they can fight into their older age if you have that power, if you have that Olympic pedigree. That man has both.
Yeah, I guess the only problem has been his stamina. That's the reason he didn't win against Joseph Parker, because the batteries ran empty after 8 rounds.
He's the best 20-second fighter in the history of the sport. I mean, but he's technically very good as well. Let's not forget that. But again, he can maintain that energy.
Well, Zhilei, first, is that your own personal theme song?
这是你自己的主题歌吗
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I ban you.
I got that one. Last time you were here, you scored a knockout win over Deontay Wilder. How big was that win for you?
上次 KO 维尔德对你来说意义重大吗？
意义重大，代表着我又重新回归。从3月份输给帕克之后，然后6月份又击倒威尔德， Big Bang 又回来了。
It means a lot. After the Joseph Parker lost, it means that I'm coming back. Big Bang is here.
You got a very different opponent in front of you on Saturday. Kabayel, more of a mover than a puncher. What do you have to do to beat him?
卡巴耶尔可不一样了，跟维尔德，他是移动型的、灵活型的。你需要做什么准备呢？
不需要做什么，不需要做什么。他用什么战术，我用什么战术克制他。
Whatever he brings to the table, I have an answer for him.
At 41 years old, you still feel like you have a lot left in the tank?
41岁了，感觉还能打多久呢
？I don't know. 直到我打不动为止。现在我很年轻，状态一切都非常好。
I don't know how far I can go, but as of right now, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling very young.
Good luck, Zhilei.
Thank you. I'm by you.
Bang, got to be a stupid man. Bang, better know I'm a money man. Bang, can't chat to me man. Bang, I'm on a real big man and talk bang. Why he said I'm the man. Bang, get them know I'm the man. Bang, know that I'm old school man. Get who's hot on microphone stand.
Our next 2 fighters competing this Saturday in a scheduled 12-round contest, and it will be for the WBC Interim Super Welterweight Championship of the World. we will first welcome the challenger from Khiva, Uzbekistan, a stellar amateur with over 300 victories. He now has a professional record of 10 wins, just 1 defeat, 1 draw, 7 of those 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former WBA super welterweight champion of the world, Israil the Dream Madrimov.
I always struggle with the 154-pound rankings because we haven't seen them all get in the ring against each other. But I can't see many people beating Israil Madrimov. I think he's that special. And I think he surprised a lot of people just how good he was against Terence Crawford. I think he surprised Crawford as to how good he was.
Yeah, and do you know what? I think, having spoke to him yesterday, I think he surprised himself as well.
Yeah.
You know, he's a very good fighter. He can do a bit of everything, and his stock rose in defeat to Crawford, that's for sure. He takes a lot of confidence away from that defeat, and so he should. Contrasting styles, he can do a bit of everything. We see against Kurbanov how spiteful and how aggressive he can be and what big puncher he is. And we've seen in times and in patches he's a very good sharp boxer as well. So there's lots of strings to his bows. Confidence is high. Good future for this young man.
Barry, very quickly, what's his biggest attribute?
I think his brain, you know, I think his balance is really good, but I think the way he thinks things and he leads you on to it, he does all that with using his brain, trying to time you.
Well, Israel, welcome back. Last time we saw you in Los Angeles, you lost a very competitive fight against Terence Crawford. What did you learn from that experience?
Последний раз мы тебя видели в Лос-Анджелесе в очень конкурентном бою с Теренсом Кроуфордом. Чему ты научился в этом бою?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You know, I'm happy to be here because here my second home is here, Muslim brothers, very comfortable here. You know, after Crawford, I learned more experience, you know, and then I want this fight is better show for everybody.
Got a young, tough opponent, Vergil Ortiz, in front of you on Saturday. What kind of fight are you expecting?
Против тебя будет молодой, очень агрессивный боец. Что нам ожидать в субботу? Какого вида боя?
Yeah, it's top fighter because we are going this challenge, you know, after Crawford, big challenge. I have the plan, inshallah, for Saturday. Inshallah, show plan when in the ring.
You lost that title to Crawford, your world title. How important is it for you to get a world title back?
Ты потерял свой титул в бою с Кроуфордом. Насколько важно для тебя вернуть снова титул чемпиона мира?
Конечно, это важно. Ну, я думаю, я достойно бой проводил против Кроуфорда, и много болельщиков знал про меня.
Well, I think, yeah, it's important to get the title again for me, but at the same time, you know, I show myself with the Crawford fight, and many fans knows about me after that, so maybe it's also important for me.
Good luck, Israel.
Thank you so much.
And now let's welcome the defending champion from Grand Prairie, Texas, USA. He is undefeated with 22 wins. 21 of those 22 wins come by way of knockout. Here is the reigning and defending WBC interim super welterweight champion of the world, Vergil Ortiz Jr.
Knee Neither man in this fight taking a step back from their most recent performances. Madrimov, Crawford go straight to Vergil Ortiz. Vergil Ortiz, Boychuk go straight to Madrimov. That's what we want to see. No backward step, straight to the next challenge. This is a tough challenge for Vergil Ortiz, Sergio.
It is a tough challenge, and Boychuk was a tough challenge. But the thing about Vergil Ortiz, he learned from that fight. He got dropped twice. I mean, if you ask him, he says it was a slip, but we know he got dropped. We want to see people that are accustomed to doing the punishing to get some in return, see how they're going to react, how they're going to face that adversity. And he will be facing adversity against Madrimov, and it's not going to be because of power or size. It's going to be because of footwork and angles. That's what Madrimov brings to the table. Ortiz is going to need to have to discover a new chapter in himself, and that's what makes this fight so intriguing.
What I love about Ortiz, Barry, he says he wants all the tough challenges. He wanted Terence Crawford, then he said he wants Boots Ennis, then Fundora, and on the plate now is Madrimov. That's someone that talks the talk and walks the walk.
And if he gets this win, like he did that, and continues to win, then he will get the opportunity to box people like Crawford. They'll have to fight him. I think that's what he's trying to do, knock down the doors until they have no choice.
Well, Vergil, you've been waiting for a big opportunity, a big fight. You're finally getting one here on Saturday. How are you feeling going into this week?
I'm very motivated. I'm very excited to be out here in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh. You know, it's a blessing to be out here, the blessing to be on the biggest card of all time, and I'm ready to put on a good show.
You said you're very motivated. What's behind that motivation?
You know, well, first title defense against a very good opponent, and, you know, it doesn't get better than that.
Got a few fights now at this weight class, 154. Has that made a difference? Do you feel settled at this weight?
I feel good. I feel really good at this weight class, and you know, I'm willing to stay here for a long time. If an opportunity comes up at 160, we'll take it too. But you know, we'll just see what the future holds.
You know, it's a great fight. Could it be a main event anywhere else, of course? And you're part of a big card here on Saturday. What does it mean to you to kind of be part of this kind of card?
It means a lot. You know, I feel honored to have been chosen to display my skills, you know, here in Riyadh, you know, across the world, you know, it is, you know, it's just, it's indescribable, honestly.
You got Madrimov in front of you. He had a competitive fight against Terence Crawford last time out. When you watch that fight, do you see things that you can exploit in his game?
I mean, yeah, me and Crawford are obviously different fighters, you know, so different approaches means different chinks in the armor, but, you know, we always find a way.
You always find a way to make it physical out there, too.
You already know.
Good luck, Vergil.
Thank you.
I really can't tell you how excited I am for that fight. Vergil Ortiz versus Israil Madrimov. We've seen half of the fighters on this card. This is it. Joshua Buatsi versus Callum Smith. Zhilei Zhang versus Agit Kabayel. And Vergil Ortiz Jr. versus Israil Madrimov. That there, I mean, we could stop there and it'll be the greatest fight card we've ever seen. But we've still got so much more. Let's Thomas Schreiber introduce the next fighters.
Our next two fighters competing this Saturday in a scheduled 12-round contest, and it will be for the WBC Middleweight Championship of the World. Let's first welcome the challenger from Ilford, Essex, England. He brings an undefeated record with 21 wins, 17 of those 21 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the undefeated former EBU European, Commonwealth, and WBC silver champion, and the #1 ranked contender by the WBC. Here is Hamzah Sheeraz.
Alright for my brother, put my life on the line for my brother. Go jail and do time for my brother, cause that's my brother. I'll go to war for my brother. I'll light up the block for my brother. Be wrong and strong for my brother, cause that's my...
I've always felt that you can rush fighters to world title fights, right? Just because of, okay, they've got the talent, let's push them, and they're not ready. I feel like the way in which Hamzah Sheeraz has been slowly pushed, Ammo Williams, Tyler Denny, is almost like, is this perfect for him now? The timing couldn't be better.
Sometimes things have to align for you, and they have for him, because now he understands who he is, what he is, and what range he has to box at. Being so big and tall is such an advantage. We don't have to use it, just a big target to get hit. He understands what he is now, so he can. That's why he's good with the uppercuts, he's good with the long shots. He doesn't get his feet too close. He can suffocate you behind that long jab. He's become an all-rounder, Darren.
You're spot on, Ade, with this is the right time. He's shown he's levelled better than the opponents he's faced already, but now he's stepping up 2 levels. But there could be a better time. Shows so much promise. He's got so much to like. A very, very good fight. And this is a very good fight.
Well, Hamzah, you've been calling for this opportunity, for this world title shot. You finally get it. How are you feeling going into this fight?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling blessed. I can only thank His Excellency. I can only thank Frank Warren, Spencer Brown. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
There were a few other champions that were out there, at least a couple other champions that were out there. Why was this the right fight for you?
Because after the Amber Williams fight, I was #1 contender for the belt. So it only made sense.
Carlos Adames has a lot of experience. What do you need to do to beat him on Saturday?
Just do what I do. Do what I do. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and just enjoy myself, really.
I know you want to win, get your hands on that title, but how important is it to you to put on a show on a stage like this?
Yeah, massively, massively. Listen, Riyadh season, what His Excellency is doing for the sport, it's our duty to entertain. So, yeah, hopefully Saturday night I'll put on a great performance.
Good luck, Hamzah.
Thank you.
I'll go to war for my brother. I'll light up the block for my brother. Be rolling strong for my brother, cause that's my brother. That's my brother. My family, my brother, my geezer, my...
And now let's welcome the defending champion from Elias Piña in la República Dominicana. He has a professional record of 24 wins, just 1 defeat. 18 of those 24 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the reigning and defending WBC middleweight champion of the world, Carlos El Caballo Bronco Adames.
Sergio, this is a title that it felt for so long was being held captive by Jermall Charlo. Like, no one could get that belt, and Jermall Charlo just simply wasn't fighting. Finally, Carlos Adames has been upgraded, if you like, to the championship status. But you look down the record, and the Derevyanchenko win is the one that stands out for me, because Derevyanchenko gives every single person hard work. And I feel like we saw something different from Carlos Adames in that fight.
And listen, yes, that was an impressive win, but the one that stood out for me was J-Rock Williams. J-Rock Williams was a difficult, tall puncher. Adames is good at fighting short fighters or tall fighters. He carries that power well. I mean, this is a serious fighter that no one wanted to face. That's the reason Charlo was avoiding him. A lot of middleweight fighters were avoiding him. He's the truth. Finally, he's on this big stage, and Hamzah is going to have his hands full, both hands full with this man.
Very quickly, Darren and Barry, who's favourite in this fight?
Oh, I really can't split them. I mean, look, he's the reigning champion.
Don't fence it. Who's favourite?
I'm struggling. This man, as Sergio said, is a real handful, but so is Hamzah Sheeraz. If he can get it right, he can win. If this man gets it right on the night, he'll win. He'll defend his title. It's a fantastic fight.
Okay, that's what we call fence sitting on the zone. Very quickly before we throw to Chris, Barry, who's favourite?
Well, Carlos, your first Riyadh season experience, how has it been going for you out here?
Tu primera experiencia en Riyadh Season, ¿cómo te ha ido?
Bueno, mi primera experiencia, primeramente me da las gracias a todas estas personas que nos dan cita hoy. Me siento muy contento y agradecido que Dios me trajo con mucha bendición y mucha salud aquí. Estoy feliz de estar aquí y más de brindar un gran espectáculo.
I want to thank all the people here for coming to see me. I want to thank God. I feel very happy here, very content. I'm ready to make a great fight on Saturday.
When you got the call to face Hamzah Sheeraz, what was your initial reaction?
Cuando te llamaron para pelear con Hamzah Sheeraz, ¿cuál fue tu primera reacción?
Presentía que iba a ser mi siguiente víctima. Siento que ellos piensan que puede ganarme, pero como sé yo que no es así, sabía que me iban a llamar para esto.
Since before they even called me, I thought it was going to be my next victim. And I feel like they think that they can beat me, but they can't.
You say your next victim, you're pretty confident that you can be the first guy to hand this guy a loss.
Tú dices tu primera víctima, se ve que tú eres muy confiado, que tienes la confianza para poder ganarle a este hombre.
Soy el mejor 160 que han podido ver en la actualidad.
I am the best current 160.
What do you have to do to beat him on Saturday?
¿Qué tú tienes que hacer para ganarle el sábado?
Solo quitarle la cabeza.
I only had to decapitate him.
Good luck, Carlos.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it will be a battle of the undefeated 12 rounds scheduled for the WBC Lightweight Championship of the World. It will be the challenger, Floyd Kid Austin Schofield, challenging the defending champion from Brick City, Newark, New Jersey, USA, a 2016 Olympic silver medalist, now undefeated as a professional with 22 wins. 10 of his 22 wins coming by way of knockout. He is a 3-weight world champion and the reigning and defending WBC lightweight champion of the world. Here is Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, but Kendrick Lamar, you've won me over immediately. Immediately. 3-weight world champion. Almost sometimes feel like that's forgotten when we talk about Shakur Stevenson. We forget that he's already achieved Hall of Fame status. The 3-weight world champion. He's only 27, and there's so much more to come for him, Sergio.
And a silver medalist at that. This man reminds me of a fencer in this upper body, but a cheetah lower body. It's hard to hit, and he's in, he's out, he's a little bit of everything. That's the reason he's a headache, and no one mentions his name. No one at lightweight mentions his name because this man is the goods. I mean, how can you want to be in there that someone you can't even touch? You can't even hit him with a fistful of rice, like they say. That man is special.
I've never heard that, but it makes so much sense. A fistful of rice. Is he the best lightweight in the world?
I'm not quite sure. It's probably one of the most stacked divisions in the world right now, so he's in the conversation of that. But he's a brilliant fighter. He really
those are two men on the fence, Barry and Darren.
Yeah, two fence sitters. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure.
Well, Shakur, you fought all over the U.S. Now you get your first fight here in Saudi Arabia. How are you feeling about this experience?
I'm ready. I'm ready to capture the moment. I'm focused. I put in a great training camp, and it's my time.
Last year was a tough year for you. Just one fight, had the hand injury. How eager are you to get your career back on track?
I'm ready to show the world that I'm a superstar. I think I'm one of the best fighters in the sport of boxing. The world will know February 22nd.
What do you think people can expect on Saturday?
You said what?
What do you think people can expect on Saturday?
They can expect the best fighter to show out. That's what I'm going to do.
Good luck, Shakur.
Got you.
He said it, one of the best fighters in the world, and he is that. I think he's a fantastic talent. He's got fantastic people around him. Terence Crawford around him, Andre Ward around him, Floyd Mayweather now around him as well. He's got the best advisors, and so far unbeaten, Sergio. I mean, it's going to take a lot to beat Shakur Stevenson.
I mean, you named the three wise men of boxing right there. It really is incredible. I mean, whenever you have those people to look up to, those people in your ear, and you already have the natural God-given gifts that you've been blessed with. I mean, very special talent, and fast feet, fast hands. Yeah, this guy's the goods.
How much of a problem, though, is the hands? I mean, we say fast hands. Look, we know he's coming off hand surgery. I saw him yesterday, I interviewed him. I said, let me look at your hands, and they look bad. The hands look bad. How much of a problem is that, Darren?
Well, they're your tools. They are your tools, and if your tools are broken, then you're going to struggle. But this man, as Sergio said, is a very, very tough man to beat. Good luck trying to upset this apple cart. The hand speed, the know-how, the ring IQ is so good. And I'll tell you another thing. He doesn't do it often, but when he opts to sit in the pocket and let uppercuts go and keep his hands high, he's a joy to watch.
Barry, I'm going to give you another chance. Is he the best lightweight in the world?
He hasn't proved it yet. That's what I'm saying. I mean, at super featherweight, he beat Constantine and Oscar Valdez. That was fantastic. But as a lightweight, he hasn't proved it yet. He has the ability and the skill to beat it. But they got to fight each other. I think that's the next weight division to go to, where they force to unify, because there's some great talent there. But to say who's the best is until they fight.
It's a good point. They've got to fight each other. We haven't seen it. Fingers crossed. We can see all them compete in a Riyadh season event coming soon. All right, let's throw it back downstairs to Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, our co-main event this Saturday, scheduled for 12 rounds. It will be for the IBF Heavyweight Championship of the World. Let's first welcome the challenger. From South Auckland, New Zealand, he has a professional record of 35 wins, 3 defeats, 23 of those 35 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former WBO heavyweight champion of the world, Lupe Soliai La'auli Ale Maliatoa, a.k.a. Joseph Parker.
Now, because of how nice he is outside the ring, I think sometimes people forget just what a killer he is inside the ring. And if it wasn't for this little break that he's had, I mean, he's on a run of form as well. Beat Wilder, beat Zhang. He isn't the same Joseph Parker that fought Joe Joyce. He's completely transformed.
100%. This man is full of confidence. I've spent a lot of time actually with Parker. I've interviewed him a few times, and he surprises me every time with how happy he is, how content he is, but on the flip side, how hungry he is. He alludes to the team that he's got around him, and that's just elevated his confidence to another level. Look at this man. This is a man who's comfortable in their skin, comfortable with their abilities. Tremendous fighter.
So confident. Not many people are skipping on the stage, Barry.
No, he's confident because I think for the first time in his career, however much ability he had, even though he won a world title, I think he understands it more now. He's better for it. He understands that he can be brave, he can slip inside the target and work away, and his engine is fantastic.
Well, Joe, you certainly got some good energy coming into this fight. How are you feeling going into it?
As you can see, I'm happy, I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to Saturday.
You know, you've had a real turnaround over the last couple of years since that loss to Joe Joyce. What are the biggest differences in you since that defeat?
Listening to Andy, listening to George, and applying what I've been learning in camp and in training in the ring. And it's pretty simple. Go out there, believe in yourself. I have confidence, and I'm going to prove to everyone that you can always come back from a loss.
You've been a world champion before. What would it mean to you to be a two-time heavyweight champion?
It'll be so special. I think champion of the world, Frank will be there, Spencer will be there, we'll all be there celebrating.
You're fighting a guy that has a lot of momentum too, in Daniel Dubois. What do you have to do to win this fight?
I have to be me. I have to focus on me, go out there, execute this game plan that Andy Lee has put in place, and become champion of the world.
Good luck, Joe.
Thank you very much.
And now let's welcome the defending champion from Greenwich, London, England. His professional record consists of 22 wins, just 1 defeat. 21 of his 22 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the hard-hitting, reigning, and defending IBF heavyweight champion of the world, Triple D, Daniel Dynamite Dubois.
Simply the most confident heavyweight in the world. I mean, you've got a fight lined up against Joseph Parker. You get in the ring to confront Alexander Usyk. That's the confidence levels he's got right now, Barry, and rightly so when you've had the run that he's had.
Yeah, he's got that arrogance of a guy who's a massive puncher and a guy who just believes he can beat anyone who's put in front of him. And I think the turnaround for him, and not so much physically, which is not at all physically, he's always been a specimen, but I think mentally, psychologically, in him, from a frail character, let's be honest, to a man now who thinks he can walk through walls from the first round to the 12th round, he's happy to have a wall. I think the way he bullied Anthony Joshua, beating him is one thing, the way he bullied him was quite phenomenal.
Sergio, how shocked were you with that AJ performance?
I was very shocked. But here's the thing. I picked that to happen on air, on the zone card. I said Dubois going to beat this man. I just think Anthony Joshua was shaken. The chin wasn't the same, and he's been stopped. That man has one of the biggest right hands in boxing.
Well, Daniel, Joe had a lot of confidence as he stood on the stage right here. What's your confidence level right now coming into this fight?
You know, I'm flying. I feel really confident, ready to go now, ready to, talking's done, let's go to work.
You've been on a roll as of late, from the Jarrell Miller win all the way up to the win over AJ that secured you that heavyweight title. What are the biggest differences in you over these last few fights?
I don't know, man. It's just the support behind me, my dad, my team, Frank Warren and all of that, just supporting me and just having an ambition and goals, and we haven't stopped, we haven't given up, and we're here now.
Joe's been on a roll of late too. He's picked up some big wins over the last couple of years. What kind of fight are you expecting from him?
I'm expecting just war. I'm ready to fight. You know, whatever happens, I'm ready to go through him and, put him to sleep. Go for the next one. I'm hungry.
You got a lot of knockouts over a lot of good guys over the last year or so. You think you can knock Joseph Parker out?
I'm not making no predictions, but I'm ready to fight.
Good luck, Daniel.
Thank you.
Great chief support, that one. Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker, IBF heavyweight title. Shakur Stevenson versus Philip Schofield, member WBC lightweight title. And Carlos Adames versus Hamzah Sheeraz, WBC middleweight title. Title. All title fights coming your way this Saturday, live on DAZN. Dubois versus AJ. Credit to you for picking Dubois to win. I think people did pick Dubois to win, but not like that. I mean, Dubois won pretty much 99% of that fight, Darren. A truly incredible performance when you consider the stage of it as well. 90,000+ at Wembley. AJ, the favorite. AJ's gonna fight Fury next. It's all lined up. And Dubois just completely knocked down those plans.
Yeah, he ripped up the script, didn't he? And do you know what he's developed from that win is a superstar aura. There's this aura around Daniel Dubois now. I've said it numerous times, unsettling how confident he is now. And why shouldn't he be? If performances like Miller Hrgovic and then AJ can't give you that, real self-belief, then what can? And now, he's on to bigger and better things, dare I say. He's striving for massive fights. He wants that return with Alexander Usyk, but as we've said, he's got a tough task in front of him, and informed Joseph Parker, who, like Dubois, truly believes in himself.
He's in a situation, Barry, isn't he, where you look at the heavyweight landscape, and look, we don't know what Fury's doing, but let's just play the argument that Fury has retired. Alexander Usyk, 38. Martin Bakoli's in his 30s, Dylan White, Chisora, all in their 30s, late 30s. He's the young gun that could almost have this division for a few years.
Potentially he could, yeah, if they will retire, or he can get them out of the way now while they're at the twilight of their careers, of course. Well, I just go back to what Darren said about him with the confidence. Not just beating AJ, and not just the way he did it, in front of 90,000+ people. And if you've got any sort of mental frailty, that's gonna suffocate you. And I think that's the biggest shock for me. And I think he is going to be a hard man to beat for anybody.
In a 13-month span, 13 months, he went from Usyk, and I think he still knocked him down. That was a body shot. No. Usyk, Hrgovic, Baby Miller, Anthony Joshua, 13 months. That's where the confidence comes from. That's why he's a scary, dangerous man right now.
Let's remind ourselves of that AJ fight. A truly incredible performance. I remember him walking to the ring in that black robe, thinking, okay, he's walking here as a man that's going to do business. But it still shocked me just how fast, how aggressive he was. That right hand there, it's a sensational performance, Daz.
Yeah, do you know what? I think there was a lot of pressure, a lot of people really fancying AJ going into this fight, and I think he sort of grew a lot of confidence from that Daniel Dubois. There was no pressure as such for the young man. He was caught here, but look how he responded. This right hand knockout of the year. Look at this, he's under pressure, he gets tagged, and he's not loaded up with the shot, he's just put that on the point of the chin, and this man now has elevated his confidence to another level.
We've just done a bit of musical chairs in the studio. You wouldn't notice, by magic, Barry Jones has turned into Andy Lee. Andy Lee he's
got better looking over there.
Better looking and a bit taller. Your boy was skipping on stage. I don't think I've ever seen a fighter so confident, so bashful, so close to a fight.
Yeah, he's enjoying every moment. You know, he's an experienced fellow. He's done this a million times, but he does enjoy it. And there's no fear. He knows the work he's done, knows the work we've done, and he's ready to do it in the ring.
I'm so intrigued, Andy. I know you're not going to give too much away, but give us a watered-down version of what the game plan would be. Because obviously we know that Daniel Dubois punches so hard and his feet are very quick. Is this a case of being a little bit variable with the work of Parker?
Before you answer, a very watered-down version.
No. Listen, I'll be completely honest, as I always am, because at this stage it's too late to change anything anyway. It's a delicate balance between not trading with him, but also making him respect you and not giving him too much momentum. And Dubois relies so much on his jab for range. If he can land a jab on you, he's very comfortable and very confident in his work. But if you start to miss the jab and use the jab against him, take the jab away, he'll become a little bit insecure. And I think it'll take a while for him to figure out. I think he has to jab. He has to start most of the attacks with a jab because that's just how he's programmed. I don't see him as a fighter who will work it out as he goes. I think he's programmed to fight a certain way, and that's how he's going to fight. I can see Dubois he's talking about and how he trains and what he's going to try and steamroll Joseph, try and start very aggressive, very fast early on, and try to put a dent in Joseph. So again, Joseph's going to have to make him respect his power and use that jab against him. Use his strongest asset and make it his biggest weakness.
I always remember the Deontay Wilder performance just because I feel people in hindsight maybe don't give it the respect they should because of where Wilder is now. Going into that fight, it was a done deal that Wilder was going to fight AJ. And everyone was like, what the hell is Joseph Parker doing fighting Deontay Wilder? You're very confident in that fight against a fast puncher. I say that because Dubois, again, is a fast puncher. So you've been in there with someone that arguably hits harder than Daniel Dubois, and you took that fire versus fire fight.
Yeah. And ultimately, you have to be yourself. You know, I think, well, we could go on the bike for the first 4 rounds and move and try to be negative, but you still might have getting caught with a big punch because this guy can't punch. So I think Joseph has to be fight his fight, be true to himself and his style.
Yeah, he certainly has.
Andy, the face-off was great viewing, and there's something you said there. You said he will revert to type. Do you think there's still quit in Daniel Dubois?
It was just causing trouble.
Frank Warren said, all right, lads, we all like each other, but we got to sell the fight, so talk up. And I said, okay. But then when I did talk up, he was like, shut up. But no. He, listen, if he's ever going to quit, it was the Miller fight, wasn't it? You know, and then he took serious stick in the Herkovich fight, but he came through. But the thing is, in both of those fights, he was able to land his punches. And I think as long as he's able to touch you, he has a level of where he's comfortable and security. I think if you start to make him miss, like maybe in the Usyk fight, and take that jab away, that's when he'll start to have those moments of doubts and trying to program and trying to figure out why he's not landing it. He takes a long time. I don't know. He takes a long time to reorganize Dubois.
Big men hate to miss. I think that's going to be the game plan. And the fact that Joseph Parker fought I think he fought Joyce very well. He was hitting good body shots. If he could bring that strategy into this a little bit and not get hit with the big shots, dig the body, get angles, I think he's going to be just fine because he throws a great overhand right. Overhand right's going to be landing against Daniel Dubois. I think that's going to be the money punch.
Will you come in the corner with us?
No. I'm a big fan of yours as a fighter. I never wanted to fight you.
No.
I'm a bigger fan of you as a trainer.
That's not what he said 10 seconds ago.
Well, I want to know, first of all, really about who won the golf, though.
Who won the golf? Who won the golf? Darren seems to be the winner of all these golf.
I'm getting a rematch tomorrow.
It's becoming too easy.
Sergio, Andy, I've got like 30 seconds before I have to throw back to Thomas. Look, middleweight, big middleweight title fight. How do you think that plays out? Hamzah Sheeraz, Carlos Adames?
Oh, I think it's a tough fight to call. I think Adames is, Sheeraz is the fighter in the ascendancy with a lot of, I think we're not recency bias, but we're geographical bias because he's from our neck of the woods and we've seen such great performances. This Adames is a hell of a fighter. You'd know him, Sergio. He's very tough, very aggressive.
It's going to come down to how Sheeraz takes a punch. If he could take a punch, then I could see him beating Adames, but I think Adames is a favorite.
Oh, I like it. All right, let's go down to Thomas Schreiber because now it's the main event time.
Ladies and gentlemen, our highly anticipated main event is a rematch scheduled for 12 rounds, and it'll be for the undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world. Let's first welcome the challenger. His professional record, 23 wins, just 1 defeat, 12 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former unified light heavyweight champion of the world, Dmitry Bivol.
All right, here we go, Barry. This is it. This is one of my favorite fighters in the world, Dmitry Bivol, and he's come here on a revenge mission. I think he's bulked up a little bit. I said this to him. I feel like you put on a bit of size. He said, no, same size. He has to do something different. Can he do something different on Saturday?
When a man of that ability, and I think that boxing brain, I think you can. I think he can. But then you got a guy in front of him who's going to also adapt to that as well. So it's going to be very. I know it's a difficult night. So it should be for what they're boxing for. I think though that it's a two-phase attack when he only goes for one phase. His footwork's sublime. He's in and out with his feet. Always readjusting his distance, making you miss and making you pay. I think he needs to stay close to the target for the second phase and then go again from a different angle.
That second phase is so dangerous, Darren, because the second phase equals danger. Because it means you stay there, doesn't it?
You're there, your feet are there, you're in range to get hit, but this man needs to be switched on. This man right here is a perfectionist and he wants to do better.
Well, Dmitry, we're back here in Saudi Arabia. The first fight was very tough between you two guys. How many times did you watch that fight back?
Around 3-4 times.
What did you see when you watched it?
I saw good moments and bad moments.
It was incredibly competitive between you two guys. What do you have to do differently this time to get a win?
I just need to be better in all positions. I need to be faster, I need to be harder, smarter, everything better.
What did you learn from going 12 rounds with Artur Beterbiev the first time?
Not too much learned, but I learned about myself that I don't like to lose and I need to push myself harder.
What does that look like? What does pushing yourself harder look like on Saturday?
It means more punches and more endurance.
Good luck, Dmitry.
Yeah, thank you.
No, you won't fight 3 times in a day. Okay.
And now let's welcome the defending champion. He is a 2-time Olympian, now undefeated as a professional with 21 wins. 20 of those 21 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the hard-hitting Ring Magazine champion and the reigning and defending undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world, Artur Beterbiev.
Artur Beterbiev really is a scary, scary proposition for anyone. He can box, but he likes to have a fight, and he almost seems to welcome it. I think the fights against the likes of Marcus Brown, when Marcus Brown's going, there's blood streaming from both of their faces, and he seems to enjoy that. Frightening fighter, but we saw chinks in the armor against Bivol. Bivol showed us something. What can he do any more than he did last time out surgery? He said he wasn't 100% either.
Listen, you call it chinks. I don't call it chinks. I thought he fought an excellent fight. He fought his fight. He's a notorious slow starter, so you can expect him to start again slow. That's what Bivol took advantage of. He pounced on those early rounds, and that's what was the difference in this fight.
Slow starter chinks in the armor? Ain't that a chink?
That's who he is. That's his character. He likes to get the motor running. Some fighters are just slow starters. There's a lot of great fighters that actually did that. They assess the situation and they get the timing down. They get the power, the speed, the range. That man doesn't need to change anything. The judges just need to see a different fighter and maybe throw more uppercuts. That's the only thing I see Artur Beterbiev changing. Other than that, he's still the same exact monster.
I'll tell you what as well, Ade, we seem to have forgot that he was coming off serious knee surgery. So though he wasn't 100% in the fight, he's 100% physical now. He can be a lot better because he's got his legs underneath him.
Well, Artur, just 133 days between these two fights. How do you feel going into this rematch?
Not bad, not bad.
What did you learn from the first fight against Dmitry?
You know, we learned some different things, like, you know, what we need to prove, what we need to correct, like, you know. We did some stuff about these things. We'll see.
You know, after the first fight, your trainer, Mark Ramsey, said, great job, but you can be better. You said you can be better. In what ways can you be better in this rematch?
There is many things, like many aspects I can prove myself, I think so. We'll see.
Are you expecting him to fight differently this time?
Yeah, I think they have some different strategy or something, yeah.
You just turned 40 years old, but you seem to get better as you get a little bit older. How do you explain that?
I think it's because it's experience, and, you know, to be in good shape a long time, I think it's helping for your body too.
Good luck, Artur.
Thank you.
It really is an incredible main event. Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol, two pound-for-pounders, two of the best fighters on planet Earth. It really is an incredible fight week as well we've got for you on DAZN, and we have you covered every single step of the way. Hello, people. Me again. Fight week on DAZN is non-stop action. Access all areas of the biggest fights. From grand arrivals and weigh-ins.
I'm not here around, I'm here for war.
To open workouts and pandemonium at the presses.
You wouldn't have been so much pain.
All analysed by the biggest names in boxing.
I'm in this. Get him out of boxing, it's over.
That and so much more, even before the bell rings. Yeah, busy fight week here on DAZN. Boulevard City looks magnificent as well, doesn't it? Tomorrow is the media workouts. Gets underway 6 p.m. GMT, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Thursday, press conference. Friday, it's not there as well, is the weigh-in. Busy schedule on DAZN. And then Saturday, fight night, 3:30 GMT, 10:30 Eastern time. Loads coming your way on DAZN this week. You know what else is coming, don't you? April 5th, Queensbury have joined the DAZN team.
47 years of promoting boxing. What a ride it's been. I was 23 years old at the time. I got an invite from the Boxing Board of Control to take a licence out. Back then, it was all run by the cartel.
We have a new promoter in British Championship Boxing, Frank Warren.
People liked it, I think, the fact that someone was taking the cartel on. I've never been afraid about shaking things up and working with new media.
This is a bit of a dream come true.
Pay-per-view, satellite TV.
Very proud of Amir. What he done was fantastic.
Bringing shows in from America Live. I've been lucky enough to promote some of the biggest names in boxing.
I'd like to thank Mr. Frank Warren for having me over here.
Just when you think it can't get any bigger, my mobile rang. We get this call from His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. Off we went to the races. I'm as competitive as my fighters, and I fight for my fighters. I'm always looking for the next challenge, and I know there's one there now.
Queensbury arrives at the home of boxing, DAZN, multi-year deal, let's go.
This is a company that is devoted to boxing. They have a worldwide platform. And for us, that is very, very important to do what Queensbury is doing, to be expanding and building, working together for the betterment of boxing, as I believe it will be.
Queensbury and Matchroom both on DAZN. This is getting a bit too friendly between you two now, isn't it? Good show though, April 5th, all heavyweight showdown as well.
Yeah, you happy with that?
Good, very happy with it.
We are.
Yeah.
We are. It's going really well. Tickets are flying. and we're going to have a fantastic night of boxing.
Yeah, should be good at the Co-op Live, obviously headlined by Dillian Whyte. Should to see Dillian Whyte back against Joe Joyce. All right, let's talk about this. We hear the Last Crescendo. You know, look, you two are obviously a lot more experienced in terms of big fight cards. Is this the greatest fight card we've ever seen? I mean, we keep talking about it. Don King put on a few big ones in the 80s. Is this it, though?
Over the years, I mean, I've been out to Vegas and seen some really big cards, but for quality, for every fight, 50-50 fight all the way through, nothing like it.
Eddie?
Yeah, I just feel that every fight on the card can headline with each of their respective networks, promotional companies, in any market in the world. Like, you've got British domestic classics, you've got World Heavyweight Championships, you've got Brits going for world titles like Hamzah, you know, you've got fans fights like Ortiz against Madrimov, you've got heavyweight, you know, grudge matches. I mean, it's just like, you've got even Shakur against Floyd Schofield now is wild. Like, the whole thing's wild. So I just said earlier, like, if you're a fight fan, this is really, I think, the greatest night you'll ever watch. You may never see anything like this again. And if you're new to the sport, you're about to fall in love with it. I'm just sad that you're finding this as your first show. Don't expect this every week,
might
please.
not get this every single week.
You get absolutely spoiled.
Yeah, this is a bit of like a Super Bowl. You don't get Super Bowls every week in the NFL. Hamzah Sheeraz, your guy. This is obviously the biggest night of his life, coming up February 22nd against a very good champion in Carlos Adames. How's Hamzah been?
Look, he's really up for this, and this is a big moment for him. He's done everything that's been asked of him as yet, and he's going in with a very, very good quality fighter. He's not getting an easy job here, but he's got to be at his best. And if he is at his best, I think he's got a great opportunity to win the title. It won't be easy, and that's what makes it such an exciting fight, because I know that their styles will gel. And out of that, you're going to get, I think you're really going to see something special. But I believe he can win the fight. I think he has the skills to do it. I think he's got the mindset to do it. And I hope he does it.
We have a couple of 6-rounders to open the show, but the main fight to kick off things is Callum Smith versus Joshua Buatsi, which sounds crazy to me, because that would headline the M&S Bank Arena, it would headline the O2 Arena. It headlines this or opens this. How's Callum?
He's great, you know, another Matchroom Queensbury matchup, and, you know, I think that it's a real domestic classic. I think when Callum lost to Beterbiev, I kind of wondered, was there a fight out there that was going to motivate him to come back? You know, he'd won the World Championship at Super Middle, the Ring Magazine Championship, fought for the unified light heavyweight World Championship, and Buatsi was the perfect fight to do that. If you can't get up for a domestic classic like that, you never will. And it's an intriguing fight. You know, I think Buatsi, if we see the Buatsi that performed against Willie Hutchinson, I fancy Callum Smith to stop him late. But he's a very good fighter as well, sometimes a little bit hot and cold. What's Callum got left? I mean, again, a fight that can headline in Liverpool, a fight that can headline at the O2. And what is it, kicking off the night?
Kicking off the night.
At 6:45. I mean,
it's amazing. I mean, you know, 2 Brits in there, again, competitive. It's for the interim, isn't it? I mean, it's, you know, everything's there. The winner of this is the mandatory. So they've got everything to go for. Be a brilliant fight.
My fight of the night, and look, no one's asking me, but I'll tell you anyway. Vergil Ortiz versus Israil Madrimov. It's one of those where you kind of gone back and forth. You can't call it. Vergil against Boychuk, maybe lucky to get the result, the nod on that one. I thought Madrimov looked fantastic against Crawford. It's a tough one to call.
The styles all gel well in this, because against Crawford, both guys are really good movers. Like Madrimov, although he's strong and punches very hard, he's got great footwork.
Yeah.
So has Crawford, and then they negated themselves a little bit in that fight. Ortiz is all action. He throws a lot of punches. He's a big volume puncher, and you've got to be active against him. And when he's active, Madrimov's really dangerous, but it's another pure 50-50 matchup. You know, that's one really for the hardcore fight fans. 2 world-class fighters, but that is a brilliant 50-50 fight.
And you've got to think of the fight he had with Crawford. I mean, I didn't think there was anything in that fight, to be quite honest. And what he's learned from it, the experience, knowing what the level he's at. Ortiz is a very good fighter, and again, he's got fight written all over it. These 2 guys are top quality fighters.
Do you know what, as well, I think, so this is a little bit of a hardcore topic of conversation, but travelling over here for the first time fighting, if you've been here before, if you've had the experience, it does play a part. And I think that's a benefit to Hamzah. You know, all of a sudden, Adames comes in. You've got the BBFC check weight, which is throwing a lot of international fighters. You know, Madrimov's boxed here before. Ortiz is coming around. I'm hearing all the teams, you know, oh, where's the car? Where's the... They're turning up here tonight going, what is going on here? Others that have experienced before, it does play a part. It does make a difference. That's why being part of a big promotional company that can give you the experience on these cards, put you in a great position for when crunch time comes. and it could be the difference.
Yeah, crunch time's coming for a lot of these on Saturday. Your boy's got crunch time as well, Daniel Dubois, who's looked so far, I mean, he walks over crunch time. It means absolutely nothing for him. He's on an incredible run. Joseph Parker, another challenge. That's a main event anywhere in the world. That's chief support.
Well, it is, and you know, you look at it, Daniel's on a roll. He's brimming with confidence. He really is up for this fight. I've never seen him so confident about himself in all ways, not just as a fight, you know, as in the ring, but outside the ring. He's changed a lot since that fight he had against Usyk. And you got Usyk, who's the free belt, holding 3 belts, unified the belts. He's #1 in the world. Tyson's retired now, so you've got the #1 and the #2 fighting each other to fight the #1 for the 4 belts again. So there's a lot on the line here. This is a magnificent, magnificent fight. Joe's on a roll. Former world champion. He's full of confidence as well. Just talking with him over there, he's brimming with it. I've never seen him look so well. He looks big as well. What I mean by big, he seems to.
Yeah, he's put on the muscle,
and he's put it on. So you know, I hope I can see what his tactics are going to be in this fight. But this is a great fight. I mean, it's a fantastic heavyweight fight, and he knows, and he says, Joe, and I believe what he's saying he will have to do. He's got to take the fight to Daniel to take it out of him. And Daniel only knows one way to fight, and that's go forward.
Oh, it's a
so
great
you're
fight,
going to get irresistible force against an immovable object. Something will give eventually, and it will be so exciting whilst it lasts.
Always does in the heavyweight division. Eddie, you're neutral in this one. Which way are you going on it?
I said in a couple of interviews earlier, like, Daniel's done so well. I really like Daniel. I think he's a really funny guy to be around. I think he's actually got a great personality.
Yes,
a lot of people haven't seen all of it yet, but I think he's when you've achieved